Hello, my name is S5Y, and I am the author of More Bosses. More Bosses is a very special plugin of mine because it originally was designed to be a joke, but eventually led to me creating some pretty neat little entities that act as external bosses for the game or extra bosses for the game that come with their own boss bars and 400 points of health. So boss bars, my apologies, More Bosses features 5 new bosses and 4 custom items that drop from, of course, the 4 real bosses. And we'll see here that I have the menu pulled up, and we can spawn Albert. We can also spawn Oswaldo. We can spawn Big Boy. We could also spawn Timothy and Bartholomew. So the first boss is Albert. Albert was made as kind of a joke, and he's not really meant to be played as an actual boss battle, because Albert here is a never-ending slime. Yes, you heard that right. Every time you hit him, he spawns again at the location that you hit him at. And the only way that you can really get rid of Albert is through using the Albert Remover. And I'll be showcasing the Albert Remover pretty soon, but the Albert Remover is a stick in which, when you left click Albert like this, he disappears. And so this is the only way to get rid of him, so I definitely don't recommend spawning him inside your server, especially as a player who doesn't have the permissions to execute the command for the Albert Remover. This right here, this boss is Oswaldo. Oswaldo is a full netherite zombie who, when you hit him, he spawns these little zombie minions, these baby zombies. And these baby zombies are very annoying. And so I'm getting close up so you can see them rather well. But Oswaldo has 3 neat little abilities when engaged in battle, which you will see momentarily here. He spawns fireballs, which explode. He spawns baby minions, as was previously stated. And furthermore, he creates a circle of particles. And if you're within the radius of that circle, or the area of that circle, you get launched back. This right here is Timothy. Timothy is a full diamond skeleton. It has blast protection. And the reason why the diamond armor has blast protection is because Timothy holds a bow and arrow, which when shot explodes at the location that the arrow lands. And so he needs that blast protection armor, and he's a rather fun entity to fight. And as a matter of fact, when he dies, you can get his bow and arrow. This right here is Big Boy. Big Boy is very similar to Oswaldo, with the difference being that his minions are not baby minions, they're fully grown. And so he also launches fireballs and launches you back with a circle. But what is different about Big Boy is, of course, he's a giant, right? And he has much more health, but he also drops an item called Big Boy's Trident, which, in my opinion, is probably one of the more powerful items that you can get when you slay these bosses. And just a little note here, the bosses are much harder than seen in the video. This is a modified version of the plugin, just for this recording. So this right here is Bartholomew. Bartholomew is a wither skeleton, and he holds a weapon called the Leva Sword. And the Leva Sword is probably the most fun of the items, because when you get hit with the Leva Sword, you actually levitate in the air. There's a small chance you can levitate in the air, and here you saw him hit me, and I levitated and was blind. But Bartholomew is really annoying. He has the chance of disarming you, so it's important that you carry multiple weapons when fighting him, and that makes him one of the harder bosses to kill. In my opinion, probably the hardest boss to kill in survival mode. And that's it. So now let's go into the items. So the first item to showcase is, of course, the Albert Remover, given by /Albert Remover. Pretty self-explanatory. It removes the boss Albert. So More Bosses pulls up the menu, And if you select Albert and you left click him with the stick, he disappears. The next command, which gives us the next item, is Admin Sword. And Admin Sword basically kills anything in one shot. So let's look at the items. So let's summon Oswaldo. Let's go ahead and kill him with the Admin Sword. And I think his helmet burned up in the fire, so we're going to try this one more time. So there it is, Oswaldo's helmet. So let's put that on. So this is the spider, right? And you'll notice that when it attacks me, I get Oswaldo's special ability to launch entities backwards, assuming that they're in the area of the circle. Big Boy's Trident is probably my favorite weapon. What it does is it shoots a laser beam and blows up the entity being targeted within that laser beam. The problem is it takes XP. So let's go ahead and give myself some experience bottles. And I have enough levels now, so we'll go ahead and kill this chicken. And we'll go ahead and also kill the llama over here. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Alright, the next item is Timothy's exploding bow and arrow. So we'll go ahead and kill him. We'll grab his bombo. And I think we need some arrows too. And use these arrows to blow up some blocks. Kind of like that. And there's a cool little particle effect when you shoot it. Very fun. And then last but not least, we have the Levisword, given to us by Bartholomew. So let's go ahead and spawn Bartholomew in here. Let me get that. Let's summon some llamas. Or a llama. And you'll notice when I hit the llama, there's a chance that it will levitate. Kind of like that. Very fun. Very fun. Anyways, that's the entirety of the plugin, and I hope that you enjoy having this plugin on your server and you have fun with whomever you decide to share this experience with. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Also, please make a comment on which boss you thought was the hardest, as there is a possibility I might be expanding this plugin later on in the future. But as of right now, I believe it's pretty close to a completed product. Anyways, thank you and goodbye.